only a mouthpiece of God. Whatever Allah Bari Tala puts into his heart and mind, only that he can utter, not what he feels like. But according to the Christian Bible and the Jewish Bible, the prophets can speak, shoot it off, off the cuff, anything what they like. So I said, look, this is a test. Is it a valid test? He said, of course it's a valid test. I said, let's apply it. Let us apply to this prophecy. It's a prophecy that Ibrahim A.S. was going to get the whole of Palestine Canaan for an everlasting possession, him and his children. So I said, you see, sir, the day when Abraham died, it says in Genesis chapter 25, verses 9 and 10, and his sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in a cave. Buried Hazrat Ibrahim A.S. in a cave. The field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Het. There was Abraham buried. There was Abraham buried and Sarah his wife. They were buried in the same place. What land? What he had purchased with hard cash. He got nothing for nothing. He paid for it, according to the Bible. So in other words, he had nothing. And we are told that he didn't have enough land to rest his foot upon. Not 1 square foot of land he owned. What was given to him for nothing. This is what he had to buy with his sweated labor. Then in the book of Hebrews, for the Christians now, chapter 11 verse 13, these Hebrews, who? Again Paul. Well, we use him. This Paul says, these all died in faith. All these prophets, were given promises. Allah, promised them the golden carrot dangled before them. He said, these all died in faith, not having received the promises. Not having received. They didn't receive it. Allah was dangling this carrot before them, like a donkey. Come. And they were being led. This is what Paul is telling us. But having seen them afar off, you see that golden carrot, donkey, far, you keep on going for it, they receive nothing. So I said, now, is it true, sir? Is it true that they didn't receive the promises? They got nothing. He got nothing. He was supposed to get the whole of Palestine for an everlasting possession, and he didn't own, not 1 square foot of land was given to him. Is it true? Well, his book says so. So I said, therefore, this promise could not be of God. And the battle was over. A sincere man. Since Allah says, min humul muminuna, among them there are good people, waqt humul fasiqun. The majority of them are perverted transgressors. But there are good people. He said, no, I can see the point. He's my boss. But I didn't want to cut short the discussion. We wanted to pursue this further. So I said, you see, Mr. Beer, I am prepared to concede that God did make such a promise. As if Palestine was my father's property. I'm prepared to give it to you, in other words. So I said, now, the prophecy is, I will give unto thee, means Abraham, and to thy seed after thee. I said, who is the seed of Abraham? She said, we, the Jews. I said, no doubt. You are the seed of Abraham, but are you the only seed? I said, in the book of Genesis, the first book of your Torah, no less than 12 places, Ishmael, that's how they say it. Ishmael is described as the son and seed of Abraham, no less than 12 times. And as for Ishmael thy son, and as for Ishmael thy seed, it says 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation, because he is thy seed, no less than 12 times. So, I said, you see, sir, you are the seed of Abraham, and the Arabs are also the seed of Abraham. Why can't you both live in peace and harmony as brothers, instead of you lording it over them and kicking them out? He says, Deedat, you see, we had this country, we possessed it under David and Solomon. So, they are entitled to it. She said, how did you get it, sir? See, you came out of Egypt, 12 tribes, united people, under Joshua, united people. And you go into a village, that village chieftain, they call them kings. A little fellow, 500 people or 200 people living there in the village is a little king. Like the bantus, they had, nkosi, everywhere, little nkosi. So they had these Palestinians, they also had the little chiefs. So they went and knocked over one king, conquered him. You are tribes, united tribes, 12 tribes against one little fellow there. And in one day they killed 30 kings. Can you imagine? They conquered 30 different countries. Can you imagine? No, what they did was one village, another village, they knocked hells into them. They didn't know that they were a nation. This guy is thinking his village is his country. He's not thinking that, look, those guys are coming along, let us unite and defend ourselves. No, this is mine, he lost it. That guy thinks this is mine and he lost it. And they lost 30 countries in one day. 30 kings, they killed the Jews. They killed 30. So I said, look, you knocked hells into the people, because the people, they didn't know that they were a people. They didn't know that they were a nation. There's only one little chieftain and another little chieftain, you knocked them over and you took the land by force. I said, if that entitles you to that country because your forefathers, David and Solomon, had it, then we would be entitled to Spain. I said, you know, my forefathers ruled Spain for 800 years. 800 years the Muslims, and we have to go today and see the monuments that my forefathers built. They're still there. If we had the power, can we go and reclaim Spain? He said, look, who built the Alhambra? You built it? My forefathers built it. So we go and claim it. I said, the Dutch, can they go back to Indonesia? I said, look, our forefathers ruled it for 300 years. The Portuguese, can they come back to Mozambique? They said, look, our forefathers ruled it for 500 years. Nonsense. But he says, Deedat, we have it. It belongs to us. You know, we got it now. I said, right, how did you get it? Might is right. Is that your principle? That by force of arms you took it away from the poor Arabs? If that entitles you to Palestine, then they have a right to take it back by force. Why are you complaining? If by force, if you are entitled, it justifies you taking away, possessing somebody else's property, and by force of arms they can reclaim it. What are you crying about? And the discussion went on for an hour. And this boss of mine, with the other Jews, you know, they had sense. They're good-hearted people. Among them, Allah says. So he says, you know, Deedat, we didn't know that the Arabs had a case. This is his confession. We didn't know. In other words, they program from childhood into believing that this is ours, emotionally, this is ours. So anybody wants to defend his property, say, no, you have no right, you are barbarians, you are thieves and brigands, you have stolen our land, so we have a right to repossess it. He says, Deedat, I want you to write this, and I will publish this in my Temple David magazine. It's a new synagogue of the Reformed Jews in Durban. He was the editor of this Temple David magazine. He said, look, you write what you are telling. You write, and I will publish it for you. I said, Mr. Beer, you know, I can't write. And you know, the writing is very difficult for me.
MashaAllah. If you found this argument compelling, share this video to spread the truth. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more eye-opening discussions. Insha'Allah. Don't forget to comment down your thoughts. Insha'Allah. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallahu khair.